EduWatch is pointing the fingers, directly at the education ministry for these deaths of children on their way to school. Okay, within 4 months, 17 children have lost their lives just in an attempt to go to school. Right? And so yes, EduWatch points the finger at the education ministry, and I think that is right. I don't know at what point it will become clear to us that the only way we can measure ourselves and our progress is based on how we treat the most vulnerable in our society. That's it. That is the whole pass mark. As a nation, we have prioritized some ridiculous things at the expense of the fundamental and basic things that we should all be focused on. We have a president who said that by hook or crook, we must ensure that children can access secondary education for free. That was his vision, that was his legacy, and he pushed it through despite crazy odds. So that convinces me that he is interested in education. So how can you let fundamental and basic things slip? And how can you prioritize anything above the safety of the most vulnerable of our children? They are just going to school. Why do they have to cross a dangerous river before they can access education? And why should they have to pile themselves into a boat that is being rowed by a 12-year-old? No life jackets, nothing to guarantee their safety. All they want is an education. But we can take hundreds of millions of dollars and go and throw it at a cathedral. We can buy hundreds of V8s for district chief executives and ministers and MPs to go and look at the place where the children died and commiserate with the families, and then come back to Accra in their air-conditioned cars. Where are our priorities? Where are our priorities? Look, to be perfectly honest, if children can't make it to school without dying, none of our leaders should be given any privilege. You shouldn't sit in an air-conditioned office or an air-conditioned car if there are children in your country who die on their way to school. No, I'm sorry. At a point, we have to simply understand that the people that we are hailing as leaders are failing. If you are failing, we can't be hailing.
This is annoying because we talked about a similar thing. We've talked about it how many times on our show and off the show. And this is one that happened in Accra. The youngest is about 1.5 years. So these are children. Oldest is about 13 years. And what did they do wrong? They simply went to school, were returning home. That's just what they did. There's so many things you want to ask. And I think the most annoying is after this incident happens, just like we've seen in the past, we'll have a committee set up to investigate. Investigate exactly what? Like we pretend we didn't know these children were crossing every day without life jackets. Yesterday, my son was asking me, wasn't there a lifeguard? I mean, like, we pretend that these things don't happen. When it happens, then we pretend again. We set up a committee to investigate what exactly. What did they do with the reports? We do not know. Somebody will pretend and go and donate some life jackets after today. Then we'll come back again. Another incident will happen. I mean, it's just really frustrating. And it hurts deeply that those who are so privileged, it doesn't happen to them. It happens to people who are very poor. I don't know. I mean, like, leadership, man. Like, we're tired of this. We're tired.
Look, I put myself in the shoes of these parents who've lost their children. and you ask the question, what crime did they commit?
Oh, surely.
They only sought education, but unfortunately for all of us, the people that you expect to ensure that these children will be safe just did not do their job. And so when we know children cross, nothing concerns us that we will not be there for these children, ensuring that they all have life jackets. And let's say even if they forget their life jackets, can we not make life jackets available at the crossing ends of this, stream or river? I mean, what sort of a country have we become? All we care about are the press conferences and the workshops where we will talk about what we believe we have done, sometimes not very obvious on the ground. If there's anything we should be concerned about, it should be the welfare of children. And this is a scar on our conscience as a nation.